whole movie, though, is, like, weirdly,
It's
like,
weird.
sexy. Like...
Carol and Stephen's life together was perfect.
I've got to get going.
Right this second. Hey, baby.
Hey, sweetie. I love you.
There's one small problem.
Hi, I'm Ralph. I'm his brother. We're twins.
Are your parents,
Yeah.
It can tear them apart.
I think you're gonna let me know that everyone in your family's a midget.
They're not midgets, Carol. They're dwarfs.
Fuck this movie.
How many episodes of this stupid fucking thing have we done?
I don't know.
Isn't this...
This is 13.
13?
Yeah.
Is the first one that you're going to have to subscribe to the Patreon to get. If you're listening to this, it's because you've already subscribed to the Patreon.
We didn't say
Welcome.
We didn't say the thing.
No.
Oh, yeah. Let's do an intro.
Yeah, it's your
Whatever.
movie. You do it.
All right. Welcome to the podcast. This is...
Welcome. We're so glad to have you.
Please come into our podcast. Welcome.
This is the Unwanted Epilogue. My name is Ford.
I'm Jill.
And I'm Ford. I'm Patrick.
Enter if you dare. This one, we probably shouldn't have made this.
No,
episode.
I
we just say
regret
upfront?
doing it, and
Yeah.
we haven't even done it yet.
Yeah.
Trigger warning. Everything. Everything you can possibly think of.
We're terrible people.
No.
And it's only like
We didn't make this fucking movie.
75% our fault, though.
We didn't make this movie.
Yeah, you're right.
We just chose to watch
I
it.
think you are right. I'm pretty sure we did not make this movie.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Unless we were in like a fugue state in 2003.
That was
I lost a
long
lot of
ago.
time in
I
2003.
did lose the time.
Yeah.
Like UFOs
Yeah.
took me during that time.
Right.
But now I'm thinking I might have just made this movie.
Made this movie.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that's not correct though. I don't think we made this movie.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, but we are terrible people
We're to blame for
who
making
had
this
bad
episode of this
things
podcast
to
though.
say.
We paid $4
I
to
can't.
watch this.
Oh, this is the
Fuck.
first one we've
Don't say that.
Don't even go down.
We've paid for every movie that we watch.
We paid.
We pay for
We paid for
all
The Mummy.
of them.
This was the first
saw that in
time
the
we
theater.
paid Amazon Prime for a movie.
It's the first time
That's
that
a
we
first.
let's say it's the first time that we didn't rent it from Redbox.
We ran out of baby teeth, so we had to pay for this with real dollars.
We used up
But-
all of our free Redbox credits from our sponsorship, so we actually had to pay for this one.
We were actually able to get it out of Redbox, but when we opened up the box, it was just a paper thing and like half a bagel with cream cheese on it. It was good, but it wasn't the movie, so we had to go home and rent it on Amazon.
Like a smushed down half a bagel.
Yeah.
And written in cream cheese is like, LOL. Got you, D-bags. Yeah.
Well, they got us.
They
for
got
sure.
us.
You thought you were going to see a midget flick, and
Oh my
instead...
God.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have to start.
Oh,
I'm not
sorry.
using that
You
word.
meant a short movie.
Sorry.
Sorry, you meant a short movie. Yeah.
Ford, you picked
Did you already
this
say what we
movie.
watched? Have you already said the title?
No one has
No.
said the title.
We watched Tiptoes.
The 2003
Tiptoes.
smash hit film.
So,
Starring-
Tiptoes is a 2003 film starring Matthew McConaughey, Kate Beckinsale, Patricia Arquette, and Gary Oldman. The film was screened at the 2004 Sundance Film Festival. It was never released theatrically in the United States and instead went straight to DVD.
That
Okay.
was generous.
Straight to DVD.
Generous.
Stumbled way through that, but we can read good. All right, so Carol, Kate Beckinsale, talented painter and independent woman, falls in love with Stephen McConaughey.
And also blowjob giver.
Without knowing much about him other than that he's the perfect man. She doesn't know anything about him other than that he's the perfect man. But when Carol finds herself pregnant, it forces Stephen to expose his darkest secret, his family. Stephen happens to be the only average-sized person in a family of dwarves, including his twin brother Rolf, Gary Oldman. Carol and Steve are then forced to come to terms with the fact that the baby she carries may be born a dwarf. This terrifies Stephen, who does not want his child to suffer the same way Rolf did. As Carol decides to carry the child, she and Stephen grow further apart, and she begins to rely on Rolf to teach her about life as a dwarf.
Well, that's it. We don't have to talk about it now.
You know what?
Yeah.
What we should talk about is we almost didn't get to watch the movie, and I was so hoping we just couldn't make it work.
The universe almost conspired to prevent us from watching it.
So, if you watch the trailer for this movie, it looks like one of the trailers for those fake movies that are before Tropic Thunder.
When the going gets rough, it's only the size of your heart that counts.
Would it really be that big of a deal if our kid was a dwarf?
You knocked up this great girl and you didn't tell her that her baby's probably gonna be little. I'm not like you.
We are so cute and cuddly. Don't discriminate against us.
It really does. It's got the same voiceover, the same like over dramatic voiceover, the same like weird cuts and like cinematography. Yeah,
Gary Oldman.
It really says in the role of like in that voice. Do the voice. Say the thing.
Do it.
I just did it.
Do it again. Do it again.
Oh my god.
Come on.
In the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman is a dwarf face.
Rolf Bedelia.
Rolf.
And in the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
No, he put on dwarf face in this movie.
They made him like they taped his legs back upwards, his lower legs back upwards, and they made him hobble around on his knees. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so it's hard to tell what they did exactly because in some shots it looks like what you said, and then in other ones it looks like he was just down on his knees and they just like edited it
Like
from the side.
almost like a green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like put a thing in front of him.
They put like a green like leggings on the bottom half of his feet, like of like his legs from the knee down, and he was just like walking around on his knees. I'm pretty sure that's what they did.
Yeah,
and then in most scenes they just when they could didn't show bottom half of his body.
It was just him like struggling to walk around on his knees, but like a table in front of it.
Right. Yeah, so they put like a table in front of him or whatever. A very weird movie.
But Gary Oldman being a short guy isn't even the weirdest thing about it.
No, it's not.
Oh no, that's actually like if you take it as it was almost like a Lifetime movie, a Lifeline movie.
It
So, like,
was
the
kind of Lifeline.
Call back to whatever episode that fucking came from.
A Lifeline movie where it's about like these like family
Ooh,
problems.
Vampire Dog.
I don't know. I think it was way before that.
It was before Vampire Dog?
Yeah.
We said then we reused a
All right.
joke because I feel like that was a Vampire
Whatever
Dog.
fucking dipshit asshole edits this is gonna have to listen to it and go back and verify which episode that joke was in.
You should
and we will
cut us
figure it out.
in.
This was very much a made-for-TV movie. It seemed like a Lifeline movie in a lot
A
of...
Lifeline movie? A Lifetime movie?
Lifetime movie. It had a Lifetime movie actor in it.
A Lifeline movie.
That is some woman's
Like the
lifeline.
commercial with the old people?
Yeah.
Whichever
Not
idiot,
correct.
stupid asshole here in this room
So-
edits this stuff.
Do you want to know some other movies? I mean, should we keep talking about this?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I mean, that's what we did, so...
How many minutes are we up to?
Are we almost done?
We've gone for 6 hours.
You
Do
know
you guys
what?
remember what happened?
I made notes though.
All right, talk
Okay,
about
yeah.
some of your notes.
Okay, so
Give us some stuff.
Yeah. Give us some
Patricia
content.
Arquette.
Too
Here's
afraid to
the
say
note.
anything.
I love Patricia Arquette and her crazy
I did
teeth.
not prepare anything.
I love her. And she is like, she's got these fucking braids and she's kind of like wearing horror space clothes. And she is like banging Peter Dinklage, who's like the French motorcycle.
Holy shit.
With a lot of accents.
French Peter Dinklage
Yeah.
in this movie.
Yeah.
It is going to be hard to watch him on Game of Thrones after seeing this.
It was not good.
I think he's great. I love him in other stuff, but what the fuck was he doing in this movie?
So he's Gary Oldguy's buddy, and they have these motorcycle things they ride, and they pick up fucking hooker Patricia Arquette on the side of the road.
To be fair, Gary Oldman did not pick her up. He was
No.
against the idea of picking up the cornrowed
It
lady
was
on the road.
Dinklage. But we have them just like in this movie for some reason making out and fucking being all hot for each other and doing fucking morphine, and it's just this thing that's happening.
We have to talk about Peter Dinklage's specialty. Really the only thing he's good at, which is making a cocktail that has morphine and cognac in it. What did he call it? Did he have a name for it?
No, he said, okay, so she says, what is his drink? And he says, it's my own, he's like,
Creation.
it's my own creation. He's like, it's imported cherry flavor French morphine syrup and cognac.
And cognac.
I don't even, but this, okay, so the only connection to this part of the movie is that he's friends with Rolf. Like, they play out this whole relationship between these two people who are just, like, trash people. And it's just them, like, doing drugs and fucking and wearing braids and showing their panties and...
The scene where they get the hotel
Stuff.
room and they start drinking the lean syrup and they smoke blunts or whatever.
Okay.
And they fuck with Gary Oldman in the
I
room.
guess.
Whatever happened in that scene. But at that point, it really felt like the movie was supposed to be a comedy.
Yes.
And like it was intentionally trying to make us laugh. And I was laughing really hard, but it wasn't because the jokes were landing. It was more like, I see what you're trying to do here, but it's funnier because it failed than it did because it worked, which is a lot of this movie. Like, it fails so hard that it's funny in a lot of places.
Right, basically, like, they could have made this a decent movie, but, like, the cinematography is so goofy and weird. Like, it made you sick in certain parts. There's a scene where Matthew McConaughey and, what's her name? Kate Beckinsale.
Underwear.
Matthew, Professor McGonagall.
They're standing in this field having this conversation, and every scene, they, like, fly the camera back and forth across their shoulders.
They did that
and
in Three
like, makes you
Musketeers.
sick. Yeah.
You know something else they did was they often shot Peter Dinklage from below, but all of the other little people from above. So he's getting this like upward angle, and I don't know why. I don't know what purpose it served. Just kept happening.
You just gotta keep the beer cracks in on the recording.
Don't take that out.
Yeah, don't take
I
that
like
out.
that. It's
I'm trying to do them
authentic.
when people aren't talking.
If that's not in on the final,
Why didn't you give me like a
coming after
shut
you.
up?
I was
signal?
giving you a...
Yeah,
Did you-
but no.
you
See, I think it should
one-fingered
be in
me?
on the recording.
You one-fingered me.
I one-fingered you.
Beautiful.
The plot of this movie is that she doesn't, for some reason, they're living together and they're getting married, but he's never told her anything about that his family's,
Did we explain that
Little
Matthew
people?
McConaughey... Yeah, we did.
He's the only one who is
like,
average size.
yeah, he didn't get
He's
the gene.
not
Yeah.
one of the family members from The Hills Have Eyes. He's like a regular
Stop.
person.
Wow.
See? Okay, we're already there.
Yeah.
We're already
Patrick
there.
did it.
Mark the time.
Yeah.
How long did it take to get there?
If that's not in the final either, then we got a problem.
Oh,
All right,
God.
I'm taking over editing on this episode.
I don't feel good about this. Let's just do this.
So, what are we up to on time, though?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, so, all right.
13 minutes.
This is only a
That's it?
90-minute movie, and we spend like an hour on this story of Kate Beckinsale is pregnant. Matthew McConaughey withheld this information. She goes to meet with Rolf and their aunt and uncle because everyone's a little person in his family, and she's like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is gonna be fine. We're gonna be okay. And this is what you think this movie is about, is her coming to terms with this and them like having their baby and being in love and not being afraid. But then it's not about that.
Okay, so the big... should we go ahead and just go spoilers?
Let's just do it.
Okay. The big twist of the movie is that Matthew McConaughey can't deal with his child being a little person. Spoilers.
He punches a hole in the hospital wall.
After the baby's born.
So he pushes his wife away into the arms and short legs of Gary Oldman.
Short arms and short legs.
Short arms and short legs.
Oh, God.
So Gary Oldman in the role of a lifetime.
That's what the trailer
You
said.
can't even get
That's what the
past.
trailer said.
In the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman.
Like he wasn't in Lost in Space already. Come on. He already had the role of a lifetime.
I forgot.
He had the role of a
Patrick's
lifetime.
crying right now.
As
We have a through
Spider-Man.
line. We have a through line here. Gary Oldman has been in multiple films that we've watched.
We gotta play 6 degrees of separation between all the movies that we've done.
This is actually something I was thinking about earlier today.
Yeah.
Like
I like
good
this
performances in bad movies.
Yeah.
Like really good actors. Gary Oldman, who's like chewing the scenery in Lost in Space and just doing his absolute damnedest to give a performance, like an
Just
acting performance.
absolutely overacting.
His
I'm an
a
actor.
dope performance.
You put it best. He's holding a fucking skull in his hand while he's in that movie.
Yeah,
and in
yeah.
this movie, he is trying really hard to sell this shit.
Yeah.
It's just awful.
I ain't
It's
buying
bad
it.
dialogue. It's bad everything.
Gary Oldman in the role of a lifetime.
Maybe just watch the trailer.
Gary Oldman.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay.
I thought
wait,
that
go.
dwarves like lived underground.
No,
and
no,
mined golden
Nope.
gems.
We need
Like,
to
Different
steer
dwarves.
away.
Different
We
dwarves.
need to steer
Not
away
hobbits,
from that.
not dwarves.
There wasn't one dragon in this whole movie.
Oh, God. Okay, so
I was
Kate
disappointed.
Beckinsale, we have to hit on this. She is an artist, okay? She's a free spirit, and whomever was in charge of her wardrobe.
What do you mean? She was in
Was-
charge of the wardrobe.
Yeah.
She went to a Hot Topic every day and bought the first 3 things that she saw.
So this is 2003, and fashion wasn't wasn't great. However, she is like having these identity changes from scene to scene where she's like, look at me, I did a mission trip in fucking Ethiopia or some shit, and I got my like African garb on.
So which Spice Girl was she though?
Posh?
Vodka Spice.
Vampire Spice. Somebody
Vampire
said
Spice. That was what I said
she's
earlier.
Vampire
Wasn't
Spice.
she one of them?
No.
She wasn't a Spice Girl?
She was Underworld.
I wasn't being facetious.
No, she
Oh,
looks
no.
a little
You
bit
meant that?
like
She
one
looks
of them.
like Victoria Beckham.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought she was a Spice Girl.
Victoria Beckham was a Spice Girl.
Alright.
I mean, who isn't a Spice Girl, really?
Yeah, deep in our
down?
hearts.
When you
I
think
am.
about it.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what I
Yeah,
want.
everyone
what
has
I
a little
really,
Spice
really
Girl
want,
deep down
okay?
inside.
I'm Ford Spice.
Oh my god, back on track. Okay, so
I'm
she
Spooky
has her
Spice.
like
Isn't that the
African
message
garb,
of the movie?
and also for some reason has this like stoner beanie winter hat on while she's in a tank top.
Oh my god, that was my favorite
Then
outfit.
we see her in like
She
a
was Dr.
train
Seuss.
conductor cap and a like leather vest and a blouse with bell sleeves.
But the thing she's wearing looks like it's like black Victorian, like lacy, like down the arm thing. But
Dude,
it's
she
like a
came from her
midriff
night job,
thing.
where she's a train conductor.
Okay,
And- but her
later
belly
we
is
see
Victorian
her
English.
I'm
in
not
like
complaining.
a black dog
you know,
collar
she's
and
kinda goofy
some
looking.
bullshit. Like, we get it, okay?
She's
she
wearing
is an
like
artist. We're good.
like a beret, you know.
Yeah.
Lots of hats. They spent too much money on hats.
Hat budget.
There was a big, and there was also a big wig budget.
Were there wigs?
There were wigs. I mean, there were extensions, which technically count in my book.
She was rocking the extensions.
That's fake hair, no matter how you slice it.
fake hair. In the
Or pin it to your other hair.
the cover of this movie is her with the two like up buns on her head. In that one scene, she had her hair pulled up into two.
I call that the Charmed haircut. Because
Okay.
what's her name in Charmed
Oh,
had that.
shit.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
Alyssa Milano.
So you got more notes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have one.
Go
one
for
thing.
it.
This is Wikipedia. According to Peter Dinklage, the original cut of the film was quote-unquote gorgeous.
What?
But the director was fired shortly after turning it in, and the people who fired him recut the film into a rom-com with dwarves,
Oh. Okay.
says the Dinklebot.
Okay, so my notes.
Look, wizards from the moon.
Stop. Summary of my notes. Okay, so twins, Ralph and Steven. What
the fuck?
parents? What the fuck parents look at their twin babies and go, you know what? I'm gonna call this one right here Ralph.
Especially this one is a dwarf, and this one is our normal sized child. Let's give the dwarf one a weird name.
I had
Yeah.
a problem
Let's really
with
fuck
the
'em over.
naming of these twins, but something I did like. Okay, Debbie Lee Carrington was one of the kind of slutty chicks, but she was in Total Recall, which is one of my most favorite movies.
Was
So
that the girl that Gary
was-
Oldman...
No, that was Sally. This
Okay. The mom?
was, you know, when Peter Dinklage is like, you run this organization like to protect dwarves, and that's bullshit, and that's fucking bougie AF.
This is
and I'm a
bourgeoisie.
Marxist. His wife, Debbie Lee Carrington. So she was in Total Recall. She's the little lady with
Bourgeoisie.
3 boobs?
the 3 boobies.
Oh, she's the 3-titted alien.
Yes.
Great.
She is dope AF.
good.
As is Total Recall. Go watch that.
I wish we'd watched that movie.
I love that fucking movie when he cracks his space helmet on Mars and his eyes bug out and his tongue is like goo 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 goo. It's
You're
great.
talking about the one with Colin Farrell, right?
You get the fuck out of here. I'm done.
Talk about that
It's
episode of
over.
Aqua Teen, right?
It is over.
Total Recall.
You're both the
Total
problem.
Rick Arl.
You're part of the
Rick and
problem.
Morty.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So here's the heart most warmingest scene in this bitch. So Kate Beckinsale has these uppity parents, right? And they're all having dinner with the little people. And everyone's anxious because the mom's like, well, I am just very uncomfortable and there is something I have to say right now. And everyone gets teary because
I
they're
just
like,
have to get it off
oh
my
no,
chest.
she's gonna be like, my daughter can't be a part of this. And she's like, well, I'm gonna need a Jewish wedding. And everyone's like, oh, it's just about the Jewish wedding. It has nothing to do with the whole dwarf thing. And we're all teary and high-fiving and like kissing on the mouth. What? Why?
Right? Like who would
What?
who would subject themselves to a Jewish anything?
Oh my god. Okay,
That's the
everything.
angle you were going for.
We're
right?
done. We're
Yeah.
finished.
This scene in particular is what made me think this movie was supposed to be a comedy at one point. Like,
Well, the alternative was a nice Catholic wedding. I'm just saying.
oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
Or hey, not get married at all because marriage is a sham, right? And
Okay.
women just take everything everything in the divorce, including your balls.
You know what?
In your religion, apparently.
I don't know why I have to say this like every podcast, but my views are my own, and these nerds and their views are their own.
Listen.
Okay. Wait, I have more notes.
Okay,
Hold on,
we'll
hold
let
on.
you get to those notes as
Wait,
soon
wait,
as we
there's a
have
fight
a word
scene. No.
with our sponsors.
There is a fight scene, people. A fight scene between Gary Oldguy and, okay, so he's got this slutty girlfriend named Sally who has what was the ethnicity of Idrisi? Her man friend?
I believe he was Persian
Our
or
Persian
possibly
man friend.
Iraqi.
Idrisi. Okay, so Gary Oldguy gets fucked up. He gets hit in the face. He gets choked out. There is a fight scene between this man and little Gary Oldguy.
And what is ostensibly a child in a wig, because when they cut to a wide shot and it's not Gary Oldman anymore, it's just a small person getting beat up from behind.
I think in some cases, actually, it was a Muppet.
You actually mean like for real? It was just like a puppet?
Like a motion puppet. Like a Muppet.
Okay, so there's a fight scene for no reason.
Did you know that's what that's short for? Muppet?
I did not know that.
Means motion puppet?
Huh.
I didn't either.
You know what? This
Wait,
is a good
that's
thing
why-
to come out of watching this movie.
This episode is worth $5 on Patreon, everyone.
Okay.
That's why we're gonna get this one deemed as educational material.
Oh,
you go.
God. Here's some
And it
educational
will be shown in
material.
schools
If you take
to
a
your
pregnancy
children
test,
if you don't pay us.
do not then put that pregnancy test draped across your coffee cup.
Oh my
I
God.
feel like this should go without saying.
This seems
but
unsanitary.
you take a pregnancy test by pissing on the stick. And even if you are like
But we
a
all-
fucking sniper, your piss is going everywhere when you take a pregnancy
But we
test.
all agree Kate Beckinsale probably pees purified spring water.
2/3 of
from
us
the
agree
mountains
on
of
that.
Sweden.
2/3 of us do agree to
I
that.
have not passed judgment on what is coming out of Kate Beckinsale at all.
For sure.
I don't care. That is urine. You put the cap
Urine.
on to
Urine.
make everyone less uncomfortable with the fact that you just peed on a stick, and then you put it on your
She put
motherfucking coffee
Urine
cup.
on a stick and then
Anything
put it on her coffee
that
cup.
comes out of Kate Beckinsale can go near my coffee cup.
We are clear that you're a fan of that. As someone who has taken a pregnancy test, the piss is just not what you want near your coffee cup. That is
It's
fucking
okay.
gross.
For to relay it to you in a way you can understand. It's like getting up after your dick has been mashed against the bottom of the couch all night, and you try to go take a big piss, and it just like goes all over everywhere. It's like a
it's-
windshield wiper, and it
it's-
just
But it's
across.
It's Kate Beckinsale's dick, right?
The
Right.
problem you're
Okay.
missing
All right, I'm fine with that.
is the Kate
Okay.
Beckinsale
Yeah.
makes this apparently not a disgusting thing that the pregnancy test is motherfucking sitting on the coffee cup and there's coffee in the cup. Like, she's gonna pick that cup up later and keep drinking.
This episode is extremely not safe for work already. Mainly because we talk about dwarfs in it.
No one should listen to our podcast, period.
No.
But especially this episode.
Yeah.
Well, it is sponsored by Alizé.
Yeah.
They
So we got a
drink
new
a lot of
sponsor.
Alizé in
Oh,
this
hey,
movie.
Why don't we tell everybody about our
For
new
some
sponsor?
reason.
We're gonna take a moment to interrupt for commercial break and talk about our new sponsor, Alizé.
Alizé. It'll get you crunk.
Are you? Hey, bring up the text that they sent us so that we can read it.
Okay.
Bring that up. Hurry up. I'll just edit all this out.
One time I drank Alizé when I was like 19 with some chicks in.
Wait, is it real?
It's a real.
I thought you guys were doing a bit.
No.
That's real?
It's, well, their drink was more blue than Alizé, which is a light
It's like
blue.
Hypnotic.
Oh, wait, is Alizé pink? I think I was thinking of Hypnotic.
Shout out to all my Hypnotic drinkers out there.
My tummy
How do you
hurts.
spell Alizé?
No idea.
Look in your email.
I'm a bad black person.
Type
I don't know how to spell Alizé.
Sell out and promotion, and that'll come up.
Oh my god. I was thinking of Hypnotic. I fucked up, y'all. Is Alizé pink?
It's whatever you want it to be.
Google it. I don't know what color Alizé is, actually.
It's the color of urine.
We've spent a lot of time on Alizé. so-
All right,
Because we love it, and they're our sponsor, and you should definitely buy it.
You both have computers. Somebody tell me what color Alizé is, because I was thinking of Hypnotic.
What color is is. How do you spell Alizé?
I have no idea. A-L-A.
I just got an email and they fired us.
Z-A-Y.
They fired us. We're not sponsors anymore.
Oh, it's brown.
I don't think so.
That's not brown?
I don't think that's...
I think I just
Okay.
found out I'm colorblind.
I'm gonna look all this shit up.
Okay, hold on. Notes. Oh.
Alright, so do you want to hear what other movies this studio produced?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is going to blow your little fucking minds.
Blow my mind.
Don't disparage little people.
Oh my god.
So they produced Terminator 2.
What?
They produced JFK, Academy Award nominee for Best Picture.
Oliver Stone.
I think so, yeah. They produced Elizabeth, nominee of Academy Awards for Best Picture. They produced...
I did it while no one was talking.
I like it.
You could take it right out if you wanted.
Stargate. They produced Stargate. They produced Free Willy 2.
Well, that's the best Free Willy.
And Free Willy 3. And Free Willy.
You're a goddamn liar.
all three Free Willy movies.
Can we have a consensus right now that Babe 2, Pig in the City, is better than
It is
First Babe?
better than
They
the first
produced
Babe.
U571. They produced Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
I fucking love Oh Brother, Where Are
I
Thou?
love U569.
They produced Bridget Jones' Diary, Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive. Go see that. Do that.
They
Watch that.
produced Ollie G in the House. The Pianist.
Also good.
My
Pianist.
Little Lie. Sounds sexy.
Ooh, you know what the pianist
Dogville,
just made
Shaun
me
of the
think
Dead.
about?
They produced Shaun of the Dead.
Also good.
One of my favorite movies ever.
They produced Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason.
Stop with the
Also
Bridget
one of
Jones.
my favorite movies ever.
They produced Pride and Prejudice, Nanny McPhee,
Okay.
My third favorite movie ever.
Hot Fuzz, Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Okay.
So they did all of the Cornetto movies? All of Edgar Wright's
They
movies?
produced Frost Nixon, Serious Man, Universal Soldier, Regeneration.
I guess.
They produced A Turtle's Tale, Sammy's Adventures.
I don't know what that is.
Sounds like a quality film that we should
this-
watch on the podcast.
This movie is not on their list on Wikipedia.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would scrub this from the memory of every person that saw it if it was possible.
They produced RoboCop 2014.
That sucked.
Okay, this is fabulous. We really need to touch on a very fucked up part of this.
They produced Johnny English 3. Okay.
What
Dude,
even is that?
That's Bean. Is Johnny English.
Mr. Bean?
Isn't that who is Johnny English? Yes.
Is
Mr.
that his
Bean.
like spy movies?
Yes.
Oh no.
You're
So the-
drifting me from an important
Okay,
problem
sorry, you
in
go
this
ahead.
movie.
They produced
Okay.
Shaun of the Sheep movie 2.
So Kate Beckinsale is like banging McConaissance. She's being an artist. They're like talking about getting married and having a family. And somehow he impregnates her without mentioning this very important detail about his like genetic life. That is whack. Like you do not withhold that.
That's pretty fucking whack.
Even Gary old guy Rolf was like, dude, that was fucked. Like you gotta tell a bitch if you're gonna put a baby in her. What's going on with the fam?
Well, like, so, ostensibly they had never talked about having kids, or if he did, he had just left it out then? Which, like, either way makes no sense.
He left it out because she's like, what the fuck? We talked about other things.
She said in the trailers, like, despite knowing nothing about his family, he is the perfect man. Like, why is he
Okay,
the perfect man?
so personal responsibility. She really should have, dug a little deeper. But this seems like not just a cute storytelling device, but like, that is not okay.
Can we talk-
Reconnaissance.
Seems like that's a big red flag right there.
Right?
Can we talk about how when she finds out about this, they go to bed that night or some night
He's
shortly
basically
after.
just like, can I not talk about this right now?
Yeah.
Like,
She becomes very aroused by the idea of him banging a small person.
no, this is later on.
No, that's like right after he tells her.
No.
They talk about it
They
after
talk about
she finds out.
The first night, she is like, hey, I ran into your brother. And then they go to the parties and stuff, and she's like, did you
I
ever...
thought that was before that.
I don't think so. She's like, did you ever, have you ever, like, been with a
Yeah.
little person? And he's like, no, not really. But, when we were kids and kids do wacky things.
They
We
and
played
play
doctor.
we basically had, like, a little person circle jerk. And she's
That's
just
what
like-
she says.
She's just
so it was
like...
a little person circle jerk.
And she
says it with one hand in her pants.
Right, and she's like, take me now.
She's like hot for it.
It's totally
But
weird.
So that was the first
The whole
hint.
movie, though, is like weirdly
It's
like sexy.
weird.
Like,
It is weirdly sexy.
no, I mean they
I
like
know what
tried
you
to make
mean.
it like as sexy as possible. Like
they
as much as they
tried
can.
really hard and just like legit leapfrogging stuff.
That's the clip that I'm gonna play at the beginning.
Yeah.
This movie is really sexy.
Weirdly sexy. Yeah.
It is weirdly sexy. Even though there's all this stuff, like, he is so...
Oh, that's good shit.
Like, when she's trying to be chill about the possibility of having their baby being a dwarf, he's, like, all amped up, and it's like, dude, this would be, like, this is not cool. Like, it would be, like, not mentioning any, like, oh, paranoid schizophrenia totally runs in my family. Like, everybody has it. No matter what it is, right? If you love somebody, you're open with them. And they really kind of just, like, leapfrog this to go on with this story because she's got to, like, be hot for Gary Oldman.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah,
So
we
there's
haven't gotten
no
into that.
time to deal with their, like, terrible toxic relationship.
There's
So
two
Gary
relationships in this movie.
Gary
that we need to
Oldman
talk
is
about.
hot for another little lady.
That's a third relationship that we need to talk about.
Do we?
We kind of went over that one earlier because he got beat up by the Middle Eastern guy.
Our unnecessary fight scene, yes.
Then that lady goes out of the picture, and Gary Oldman gets upset with her because he finds her cheating on him at a party. This like normal-sized brown dude who's a famous guy. I don't remember his name.
He's Joe Carmichael. He is David Alan Grier, and you are racist
I'm
for
racist.
not knowing that.
For not knowing that. I'm
I
very
said
racist.
it.
I've just been told.
We're
You heard it
topical.
here. So he gets caught. No, she gets caught boning this guy, and he's like, "Fuck this! I'm going to the mountains to my cabin where we hang out."
Gary
and he takes
old guy.
French Peter Dinklage with him
Wait,
and his
wasn't
girlfriend.
that Sammy Davis Jr.?
Okay, how many trigger warnings can we put? Like, how many can we really fit
This is
in the
gonna have to be.
description of the episode?
This episode is just going to be one long.
Like, it's so... Ford picked this movie. I want to make sure anyone listening understands. Ford picked this movie.
He knew what this was going to bring out in
Hey,
us.
we all decided unanimously that we would watch this movie.
This is like a murder
Don't
cult.
throw me under the bus.
This is a
Don't
murder
fucking throw
cult.
me under the bus.
We did have veto power,
Yeah, if you really didn't want to watch this movie, we wouldn't.
and I
watch this
believe
movie.
that we exercised it once before when someone was like, "Hey, we should watch this movie."
Did we?
I think we did.
Because I know
This
on
one.
this.
I think once before we talked about
X.
watching it,
X,
and we were like,
X,
"That's it's too far."
I've never talked about this movie.
I think we did.
No, I never.
I'm gonna look back through our Facebook thing that has all of our because they're monitoring all that shit, so they know everything we talk about.
Put in a request.
Can you guys tell me?
Freedom of information.
Did we ever
Buy gold.
Oh my
Buy
gosh.
Bitcoin?
Invest in Chinese rubles.
I just want to put it out there. I personally don't have Bitcoin, so I don't stand to benefit at all. But you should buy a lot of Bitcoin, like right now.
And
you should
also,
buy some.
I'm definitely not shorting Bitcoin.
Yeah. Also,
okay.
how do you buy Bitcoin?
Also, what is
What
shorting?
is a Bitcoin?
You know what? I don't know about Bitcoin, but I started reading Mindhunters. We should start a podcast where we talk about serial killer books.
We've been talking about
So,
this.
end of the movie, Kate Beckinsale gets with the little person.
She gets with Gary Oldman.
She gets with him.
Gary Old Little Man.
She gets with him.
So her baby has
They
the
get together.
dwarfism and, you know, is
Do love
growing,
things.
and this is painful. Matthew McConaughey looks like he got a coke habit at some point in the movie we don't know about. So she
Yeah.
goes to the
They got it-
cabin
no, they
in
got
the
an
woods.
inheritance. Did you guys not see that scene?
No, that was a good point that you made because there were
He
several times during the
looks
movie he looks rough.
Like he had a coke habit.
Yeah,
He's
that
just
looks like they just cut a
I
side
can't
plot."
deal with this. Oh, this baby, I'm not prepared for this. So she goes to the woods with Gary Old Guy, and Gary Old Guy takes care of the baby. Like, he is all about that daddy life. So Matthew McConaughey shows up at the end and is like, take me back. And she's like, nah,
No.
fuck that. You're not
She's like,
fam.
no.
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 Your weaves are moot. Your weaves are moot.
Your weaves are mook.
Your weaves are mook. You're not fam anymore.
Your shit ain't fam.
First of all, your shoes are looking like a fam.
Don't say
But
that.
she's like, your moves are weak and you ain't fam anymore.
She sends McConaughey away, and the movie ends with her
No.
making out with
Yeah.
Gary Old Guy. Like,
Old man
what
guy
was
son.
this? Like, this movie, first of all, lasts like 80 years because she's pregnant, has a baby. The baby has like time to become like a 8-month-old baby, and then this thing ends with them making out,
We
and
don't
it's
know-
only 90 minutes with the fucking
We don't know how long
credits.
she was at the cabin.
We thought that it might be rated R because we got to see some Kate Beckin titties. And it turns
I'm gonna
out
pee my pants.
it's rated R.
Kate Beckinsstones.
It's rated R because they said fuck a lot. And there was like minor drug usage with him putting
And
the
there was
morphine.
some fucking. There was the guy,
Not really.
the brown guy fucking the midget.
But that was
Oh my god. Don't use that word. What is
sorry.
wrong with
Oh,
these
no.
two? Oh my
Okay,
god.
Wait.
I never said midget.
Take two. Take two.
No take two. No take two. You
There
live
was a
with
brown
your mistakes. Patrick just said the M word.
Oh,
He said,
no.
and this is a like point
just
in the
came
movie,
right out,
right?
too.
Because
Yeah.
Kate
Which means I say it all the time.
keeps saying this word,
dude, this
and
is
Matthew
like-
McConaughey is like,
so,
no, dwarf,
just
little person.
I just want to get on kind of like it is. Not like I don't think this sounds that shitty, but it's weird that they like made this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's such a like Lifetime kind of like if there was like a channel for this, it would make more sense.
Oh God.
But like no, but you know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
got because there's scenes with like 50 little people in them. You know.
Several.
The
Like
parties.
several, like lots of them. It's
Yeah.
like, and it is like there's one review on there that's like this seems like it's a some guy bitching about it, being like it seems like they're like trying to stuff it in like I think he said like normal people's face or whatever, like or something like that. But like fuck you. But there, I mean, to that point, like it does seem like it's not like pushing an agenda, but pushing just like.
I think it had a good message.
Right, it had a good message, but like it's just so like niche, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if they made Lifetime movies about specific disabilities, which I guess they do to some degree.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
So like that's what it was.
Well, most of them are like you're a lady and your husband cheats on you and or tries to murder you.
Well,
There
no,
is
I feel
And your
like,
more.
disability is that your husband is a bastard.
well, no,
More
I feel like
to
a lot
it.
of them are like the child has like some disability or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's like it fragments the family.
Yeah.
But like this one was more like they have this disability, but they can still bone down. Like
There's a
that
lot
was,
of
like-
boning down.
That was like the message was like they
Or
can
a body
they're
in the
like
club
they're like
getting
hornier than
boned
you
down.
even was like.
I think this movie was written by okay, they go back and forth in the movie. Is it dwarf
Who wrote this?
or little person?
Both
It's
of
the-
those are acceptable.
So little person is like just the colloquialism for like all like people that are
And the dwarf
little.
is like an individual?
Well, no, dwarfism is a specific like
Oh,
disability. Yeah,
okay.
because there's different like there's like several that
Holy
make
shit,
you
I'm
like a little
ignorant.
person. Well, that's just how it is. And, like,
Get woke.
I'm not woke at all. So anyway,
but like so Peter Dinklage, for instance, has dwarfism.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas Gary Oldman is a traitor to his cause because he's
old
pretending to be
guy.
a small man.
You know.
Well, no, but what's interesting is like Matthew McConaughey is telling Kate Beckinsale, no, she's saying midgets, and he's saying, no, they're called dwarves. They're like call them dwarves.
So there is that.
Which I think it's one of those things where like they don't care. You know, I mean, not like I'm not saying anything, but like I think at some point you're trying to be like too PC. You know what I mean? Trying to like get hung up on like they don't like obviously don't say midgets. That's offensive. But like apparently in 2003 with whoever like agency this was made with saying like dwarfs is fine, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like I know that like overall like little people, but like maybe not, you know. I don't know.
I'm cutting all of this out.
Right. No, I mean maybe you should, but like I mean I
Slice
don't know.
dice.
Just kidding.
I mean it's tricky, but like
It seemed like they were based on the studio and the other stuff they made. I think probably what they originally were going for was something much better than this. And it's kind of a bummer it got turned into this rom-com thing because if they had let it play out probably as the story was intended to be told, like it is interesting that McConaughey has this like self-hate and Kate Beckinsale is like, I love you, get help for this. Like that could have been a serious drama
It's
that
so poorly
honestly
handled,
like
though.
Oh, yeah.
you
That
had
was
the
only just
talent
passed
to
over.
make it good.
I actually forgot about that when
And
she says like I
instead-
want you to get therapy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. There's a
that
couple
was
of
the
mentions
story
of it,
to
but
tell.
yeah.
That here's this couple, you expect that it's going to be the flighty artist who's going to be weird about it, but when she's like open to this, and you have this individual with all this self-hate, like somebody probably wrote a good script,
I think-
and then this just like is a thing that happened after.
The Gary Oldman thing too was a departure from expectations.
Yes.
You were not expecting that she would end up with him, even though he was. I mean, I figured it out right away when she went to the cabin and he was like nice to the baby. I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, she's gonna end up
Done
with him.
and done.
No,
Yeah.
I called it. I fucking told us so. I told us so.
You told us
I
so.
fucking told us so.
Fucking a toe to so.
I did,
I
but it
don't
was
know,
obvious at that
man.
I
point.
didn't want a toe to so, but I fucking a toe to
But I
so.
did tell us so.
I could see someone wrote something good and maybe even shot something good. But it didn't matter in the end because someone else was like, oh, let's make this like a rom comedy. And it's like, nope, I think you had a better story to tell if you hadn't been pushing that shit so hard, where you have this individual who's really struggling with this like self-hate stuff, and you have this woman who is about her family and her new baby, and she falls in love with this other person. Like, there was a story.
And it wasn't, you can tell
It's
that
too
it
bad.
was made, it wasn't like a stupid, they never like fetishized
No,
anything or anything
not
like
at
that.
all.
Like,
So someone, I bet, I don't know who wrote it because Ford didn't do his homework, but
some no-name person.
maybe
wrote
it was like, if you read that script, it's like a good story. It just turned into this thing that made no sense.
Well, like that thing that Patrick read, Peter Dinklage said apparently they shot a good movie and then turned it into crap.
Yeah.
On the other hand, that's what everyone says about every fucking movie.
I know, but I feel like there was something to this.
If Peter Dinklage, if you ever listen to this, call us up. We'd love to have
We
you.
love
on.
you. We love
Yeah.
you.
We'd love to have you on the pod.
But really,
You'd have to pay your own way, you know.
that Matthew McConaughey story was probably a well-written story, and they were like, you know what, let's just not do that. We got Gary Oldman doing his thing.
There was that weird.
Let's wear it out. Rock it till the wheels fall off. See what happens. It's too bad.
So we talked about this earlier, but other movies that have great actors doing
Doing
good
bad
performances in pieces of shit movies. Can you think of any others that are off the top of your head?
Gary Oldman in Lost in Space.
No, I mean, other than that, we talked about that one.
Okay, somebody's doing a good job, but the movie is just not happening.
Jeremy Irons in anything
True.
that's terrible. He's always great.
He is.
The Dungeons and Dragons movie in particular, he's wonderful.
You know
Okay,
what?
yeah.
In that Warcraft movie, I liked the orc guy with the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked him, and that movie is not good.
I think
No.
it was the Australian guy from
I don't
Pacific
know
Rim.
who he was, but
He was some actor.
I was like feeling the orc. Like that is.
The orcs in that movie were so much more compelling than the human people. That's a movie we should probably do someday.
We really
'cause it's pretty
should,
awful.
because that particular actor with his wife and his baby and his like fucking commitment to his tribe and shit, like he was doing something that movie just
I feel
didn't
like there's
quite.
several of these on the tip of my tongue. You know?
I'm trying to think of another one.
Okay.
Terrible movie, good performance.
You know, we could probably spend a lot of time on this.
All right, in the comments.
Man, Waterworld? Kevin
Waterworld.
Costner?
That's a good
Okay.
example. Really, any Kevin Spacey movie because they're all terrible.
Costner.
Postman?
Costner.
Kevin. Oh, I'm sorry.
You made a
no.
boo, boo, boo,
Oh,
boo.
no. I've got Kevin Spacey on the brain.
Patrick just got groped.
Oh.
I should grope you. You should get groped every
Groped
time
by
you
Kevin
say
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Somebody get some
instead
Weinstein
of-
weed and put it over my head.
Oh my god.
Patrick got groped by Kevin Spacey. He's a real buckaroo.
You guys go
I'm
to
bouncing
Universal.
around on his dick. What can I say?
Go to Universal and watch the Waterworld show.
What is it, Chuck Tingle?
We should end all of our podcasts with that.
Patrick just got pounded in the butt by Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just,
In space.
Let's just throw some more on top of this fucking dumpster fire that we have burning
At this
here.
point, it's rated NC-17.
Dump it on. Really?
All right.
Don't let your kids grow up to be
Did you turn
cowboys.
off your phone
You
when
still
it went
didn't
off
turn
the
it off.
first time?
That's
No,
another
this is my
shot.
other.
All right.
Do it.
We got a
Joe has
couple
to
of
pee.
YouTube comments and then we're out. Fred Shaper. The role of a lifetime? Question mark.
Oh no!
Gary fucking Oldman?
Question mark?
Haha, I LMA'd so hard, I nearly had a heart attack. This has gotta be the unintentionally funniest trailer I've ever seen.
Oh my god! Oh god! It's too much!
Yeah.
Here's another. I love this movie. This is probably the best worst movie that has ever been made. Ever, ever, ever. It's unbelievable. Peter Dinklage is a French anarchist.
Oh,
Gary
yeah.
Oldman is
He's
a fake
a Marxist, not an
Marxist.
anarchist.
He's a Marxist, not an anarchist.
They got that wrong.
Yeah.
He's a Marxist.
What's his name? What's his name?
Merde.
Merd. We're
No,
calling
no,
you
Baird
out.
means shit. That's
He's
not his name.
he's a Marxist.
Hey, I know what merde means.
That's not his name.
I speak Francois.
Oh god.
Especially considering most of these people, Kate Beckinsale, Matthew McConaughey, Patricia Arquette, were super famous when it was made.
Super.
I really wonder what kind of deep dark secret they were all blackmailed over in order for this thing to get made with. I can't
Blackmailed?
read. Blackmailed.
God, I have to pee.
Blackmailed.
Blackmailed.
I can't do it.
Blackmailed.
Well,
God.
And on that note, I think that's...
Okay.
Wait. Recommendations? Would you
wait.
recommend this shitty fucking
God,
movie?
no.
Yeah, watch it.
Here's the thing.
It was interesting. I would say watch it.
I have picked
like
some
bad movies?
stinkers, but for real, this broke me. I didn't
Okay,
want to
if you
watch
can
it from the
find
start.
If you can find it, watch it. This was pretty hard to find.
Do not spend
Don't fucking pay for
human
it.
dollars. Maybe UFO dollars if you absolutely have
We
to.
paid $4.
That was $4
If you can
too
pay
many.
Boston dollars.
$3.99 too many.
That was roughly $6,000 too many.
If you can pay Boston UFO dollars.
If you can pay negative $5,996,
Can we
you should
trail
do
out
that.
the podcast with Boston? That
or
song?
me
No.
pee.
Banana smoking,
Just
banana
record my
smoking,
pee stream.
banana keep on toking, banana
Stop
smoking,
hitting about that
banana
pee stream.
smoking,
magic.
banana keep on
Magic.
toking. Yeah, that song.
I think based on how this is
Keep on
going out, that you
tonight.
can tell this movie broke us. It broke us. It's over. There will be no more of these. If you're still listening, please continue to subscribe on the Patreon. We're not going to make new content, but we will still take your money.
If you don't give us Patreon dollars, we're going to die. And you don't want our blood on your hands. We're not holding you hostage, but blood is definitely going to be on your hands. You, right now.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.